Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take your source material, dig in, and see what we find.
And today, it's a really interesting one.
Yeah, this comes from Sarah in Oregon. She pointed us to the modern Steam version of the Oregon Trail.
A true classic reimagined.
Exactly. And Sarah had specific reasons she wanted us to look into it. She said it's, well, strategic, genuinely fun, and the scenery is apparently very nice.
Okay, strategic, fun, nice scenery. Got it. So we're digging into the Steam source info reviews, dev notes, all that to see if they back that up.
Right. And just for context for everyone listening, this deep dive is part of Season 3, which we're calling Games, Gaming Reviews, and More. Episode 43A, technically.
And a quick shout out to Misha St Ores, Adobe creator, gamer, and the producer who pulled together the sources for this conversation. Did a great job.
Definitely. So the Oregon Trail, most people know the old school version, but this one's pitched as an official successor, a modern take.
Yeah, not just a coat of paint. It's from Gameloft. They're the developer and publisher. Launched on Steam November 14th, 2022.
Okay, so it's been out for a bit. How's it doing? Does the market agree with Sarah on the fun part? What are reviews like?
They seem to, yeah. The overall reception is listed as very positive on Steam. That's with like 80% positive out of over 1,000 user reviews. So pretty strong.
1,000 reviews, wow. That's significant engagement.
It is. And reviewers often mention that nostalgia factor, but say it doesn't feel, old. Even recently, the last 30 days or so, it's still holding it mostly positive, runs 75%.
So it's got legs. People are sticking with it.
Seems like it. That sustained positive feedback usually means the core experience is solid.
Okay, so the fun aspect checks out based on reviews. But what about Sarah's point on strategy? Is it really strategic or more just simulation light?
Well, the official tags list adventure, casual, simulation, and strategy. So it's right there officially.
Oh.
And looking at the user-defined tags, it leans even more that way. Things like resource management, inventory management, tactical, even choose your own adventure.
Right, those definitely scream strategy. It's not just watching the wagon roll.
No, definitely not. Your choices seem to matter quite a bit, requiring planning.
Good. Let's talk aesthetics then. Sarah mentioned nice scenery. The sources use this phrase, striking art direction. What does that actually mean here? It sounds kind of ambitious.
It does, yeah. It's this really interesting mix. They use charming pixel art characters, very retro, gives you that immediate callback to the original.
Right, the little blocky people.
Exactly. But then these characters are placed in fully rendered 3D environments. And on top of that, they layer modern tech, cutting-edge lighting, visual effects.
Pixel art in 3D environments and fancy lighting? Does that work? Doesn't it look weird?
You'd think it might clash, but the reviews suggest it actually lands really well.
Yeah.
The thinking seems to be the pixel art keeps it from getting too, graphically intense or grim given the subject matter.
Keeps it a bit lighter.
Yeah, a level of abstraction.
Yeah.
But the 3D environments and the lighting give it scale, atmosphere, makes the scenery feel, well, nice, like Sarah said, vast and compelling. So it kind of hits both nostalgia and modern expectations.
Interesting balance, and the sound design follows that, sort of retro meets modern.
It does. There's an all-original soundtrack described as alt-country inspired, which fits the theme, but then you also get those classic 8-bit sound effects, the little beeps and boops signaling good or bad things happening.
Yes, the sound of impending doom, usually.
Pretty much. And speaking of doom, they absolutely brought back the classic ways to fail. All the greatest hits are here.
Oh, yeah. Like what? Please tell me Dysentery made the cut.
Oh, Dysentery is front and center, but also, failing at river fording, broken legs, sheer exhaustion, starvation, snake bites. They didn't water down the harsh realities.
Good. It wouldn't be Oregon Trail without a random, sudden calamity. Did the mini-games make it back too? Hunting?
They did. The sources specifically mention the return of hunting and rafting. Faithful gameplay, apparently, but with the new visuals.
Nice.
And they added a new one, too. A fishing minigame, which sounds like more than just a quick distraction. You can catch over 80 different species. Adds another layer to gathering resources.
80 species. Okay, that sounds pretty involved.
Yeah.
More strategic than just clicking a hunt button.
Exactly. Which kind of leads us nicely back to the strategic depth Sarah picked up on. How deep does the management side actually go in this version?
Yeah, let's get into that, because resource management can mean a lot of things.
Right. And here, it seems pretty substantial. It starts right at the beginning when you create your party. You choose from different classes like a doctor, a hunter, maybe a carpenter.
Okay.
And each class has unique starting gear, different skills, even different personalities that affect events, so who you bring changes everything.
Trade in your boring job for a brilliant career using Adobe Creative Cloud. Start learning now with the free trial link in the description.
So right away, there's a strategic choice that impacts the whole journey.
Yeah.
High replayability then, presumably.
Seems like it, yeah. And it's not just setting up the party. You have to constantly watch their status. And it's detailed. Health, morale, stamina, and hygiene. 4 separate things for each person.
Whoa, okay. Health, morale, stamina, and hygiene. That sounds potentially fiddly, like a lot of micromanagement. Is it actually fun to track all that, or does it become a chore?
That's the key question, isn't it? The sources suggest it works because they're all interconnected. Like, if hygiene drops, sickness is more likely. Sickness hits morale. Low morale makes people worse at tasks, which tanks their stamina faster.
Yeah.
You see.
Ah, okay. So it's not just 4 separate bars to watch. They influence each other, like a little ecosystem in your wagon.
Exactly. You're managing the group's overall well-being, not just individual stats in isolation. It forces more holistic thinking. It makes the consequences feel more earned, maybe, more logical.
Makes sense. And I assume inventory management is still a nightmare in a good way.
Oh, yeah. The classic, what do I absolutely need versus what might I need dilemma, squeezing everything in. Plus, you have to maintain the wagon itself to stop breakdowns and worry about food spoiling or falling out if the wagon tips.
Right. Losing supplies because you didn't maintain something feels more impactful than just running out.
Definitely. It adds to that feeling of precariousness.
So with all these systems, how much actual game is there? Is it just one long trail, or is there more structure?
There's quite a bit. The sources mention 15 playable journeys, plus 7 quests that are based on historical events.
15 journeys. Okay.
And for completionists, over 140 achievements listed in total, with 83 specific ones on Steam. And throughout these journeys, you hit hundreds of random events where your party's skills and traits influence your choices and the outcomes. So yeah, lots to do, lots of variability.
Okay, we've definitely established the strategic depth, and the fun factor seems covered by the reviews and features.
Yeah.
But there's a huge piece we need to talk about, the historical context. The original game, well, it had its issues with representation. How does this modern version handle that?
This is probably the most crucial update, honestly. The game is officially licensed from HarperCollins. It is a Video Game Hall of Fame inductee from 2016. But the developers, Gameloft, specifically address the historical blind spots.
How so? What did they change or add?
The big thing is, for the first time, this version features Native American playable characters and stories. It's not just, like, adding different sprites. The sources emphasize it's about celebrating the history and culture of the people whose land the trail crossed.
That's a major shift. How did they ensure they did that respectfully and accurately?
They highlight that they did thorough research and worked with multiple academic consultants during production. The goal was specifically to get the representation right for all the peoples depicted.
That consultation piece is vital. So it's not just a settler story anymore. It incorporates those other perspectives into the actual gameplay and narrative.
Seems that way. It shifts it from just a game about surviving the trail to potentially a learning tool about the place and the people of that time.
And they lean into that educational aspect.
They do. There's an interactive journal feature where you learn about the real people and places you encounter. You can also collect info on the different animals you see, so it adds layers of natural history and social history alongside the survival simulation.
That really elevates it beyond just nostalgia. Okay, before we wrap up, quick technical question. Is this thing demanding to run? Or is it fairly accessible? Sarah mentioned scenery. Sometimes that means high specs.
Surprisingly, no. The minimum specs are pretty modest. Standard 8 gigs of RAM. An older graphics card like a GTX 660 is fine. Needs about 1.5 gigs of space. So not a system hog at all.
Good to know.
What's really impressive on the accessibility front, though, is the language support. It supports English and 13 other languages. And not just text, full interface, full audio, and subtitles for all of them.
13 languages with full audio. Wow.
Trade in your boring job for a brilliant career using Adobe Creative Cloud. Start learning now with the free trial link in the description.
Okay, practicalities. If someone's listening and thinking, all right, I'm sold, what's the damage? How much does it cost?
The base game on Steam is listed at $29.99 USD. There's also a DLC called Cowboys and Critters, which adds more content, and that's $4.99.
$29.99 base.
Okay.
Any bundles or special editions?
There's one bundle mentioned, the Explorers Collection. It packages the Oregon Trail together with the modern version of Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, another classic.
Right. Buying them together in that bundle saves you 17%, making it $49.78 for both.
Nice little nostalgia pack there.
Right.
Okay, so wrapping this up for Sarah. Based on our deep dive into the source material, your impressions were spot on.
Absolutely.
The game is strategic, deeply so, with that detailed party and resource management, the hygiene tracking, everything. It is fun. The very positive reviews back that up. And the scenery is nice, thanks to that clever blend of pixel art and modern 3D tech.
It really seems like they succeeded in updating it thoughtfully. They kept the core challenge, but added layers of strategy and, crucially, much-needed historical perspective and representation.
Yeah, it sounds like a really well-rounded package.
Which brings us to that final thought. The sources make it clear survival isn't just about luck or having enough bullets anymore. It's about managing health, morale, stamina, and hygiene for everyone. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.
And that's a wrap on this deep dive. I'm Misha, and let me send out a huge thank you for listening. If you want more content on gaming, education, or other fun stuff, head over and find me on YouTube. Link is in the show notes. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next deep dive.